getting worse for one sideline, or flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first-half performance.
And, partner, I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe, but I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and a rout is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. Certainly not what they wanted there, so the football by rule comes out to the 40.
Free kick out of bounds.
So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run here with Swift. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And now we're going to get a stoppage as, yeah, that looks like Jackson who's shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Goff now to throw. Now that'll be caught by St. Brown. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Eluding the pressure right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short, and they will remain well behind.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
And the Washington offense going back to work. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because
he's got a man, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
I'm pretty sure any quarterback will tell you it's nice to have a tight end that can stretch the field. And how about him right there, working in the heart of the defense, and they connect on a very nice play downfield, a combination of talent and toughness to go into the briar patch.
Thomas brings it in. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Robinson is in. Touchdown, Commanders. They go high formation. Fullback leads the way for the touchdown. Sort of a lost art, isn't it?
It really is, but sometimes when you're able to bring it back and use it against other teams, they're not prepared for it. They haven't seen it in a while, and now you gain an advantage, and we just saw that advantage result in a touchdown.
Slide for the PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Gone. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And they work this well upfield across the 45. This is Swift on the counter. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
On 2nd and 15 now. Goff over the middle, hauled in by Shark. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, while the two of us head for warmer areas of the press box, we'll be sending you to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half. Throwing on 3rd. Goff on the move to his left. And it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And the Commanders will take over possession here up at the 44. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy. And can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
They'll start on the ground with Gibson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable 2nd down.
Oh, what a juke into space. 40 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Sly on. And the route is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Joey Slye now to kick off after the touchdown. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Lions now taking over late in this first half. Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Goff. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Jack Fox out to punt here on 4th down. Taking it about the 36. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he's going to go down in the field of play. So they say no to the field goal try, and time has run out on this first half. All right, so we skip the rest of halftime and get set for the 3rd quarter. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And the Lions getting set to go on offense to start the 3rd. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot. Pretty unlikely, but you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the 3rd quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And oh, it's a safety. Goff got buried in the end zone. He couldn't get rid of it.
Well, 2 snaps ago, I don't think anyone thought a safety was on the table, yet it happened. They cut him up back-to-back plays, breaking through the line. No amount of evading was going to save him from a sack on either play, and on the last one, he ran too deep into the end zone to set up the safety.
Free kick out of bounds.
So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. Wentz bringing the Commanders up for 1st and 10. Right at the 50-yard line. Straight ahead, Gibson. And some room to run now. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 51 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On play action, it's Wentz. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And that nearly intercepted. The free safety rolling into position, almost had it, but it's 2nd down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
He's going to take another shot here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Wentz. He's going to go up top again. And now another one thrown incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, but that shouldn't matter a great deal as they still lead by a bundle here.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Washington. Just a fantastic punt return of 80 yards. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This fielded right at the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So out now come the Lions. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Play action. It's Goff. And that's going to be caught downfield by Chark. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Goff a handoff here to Swift. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Nice effort defensively there from Cole Holcomb.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now a play fake, and it's gone. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to him.
This has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Got his man. It's Williams. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
We've got plenty of weather here today. We've got some snow going on, and they've come out of a dome. And there have been 2 ways of getting ready for this. Some have said, don't worry about the weather. Just practice in your normal conditions and handle it on game day. And others have said, find some weather, find some conditions somewhere, and try and get ready. What do you think?
Well, whatever the preparation there, the snow causing the fumble. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And it's fielded at the 34. There he goes again. Touchdown, Washington. That punt returns 66 yards, and it goes the distance. And the Commanders are pouring it on. And we always talk about kick returns being so exciting. On kickoffs, punt return almost equally exciting.
And typically we talk about the kickoff return being the most exciting 10 seconds in football. Let's just cut it in half for a punt return and make it the most exciting 5 seconds in football. It's a great, glamorous, dashing play.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Detroit's offense ready to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Back to throw. Gone. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Jonathan Allen, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. The time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
2nd down at 5. A give up the middle to Gibson. About 3 yards there to the 27. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll run with Gibson. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. They'll go again with Gibson. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here on this Thursday night. Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 3rd and short to give to the tight end. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Cole Turner taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Commanders had 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Goff. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Goff. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun. Goff. Oh, the Commanders are going to...